Milada Horáková was a prominent Czech politician in interwar Czechoslovakia. A woman of valor, she was a key figure in the resistance against the Nazis. She survived brutal German interrogation at the concentration camp, only to fall into the hands of the communists shortly after the war. Milada was an inconvenient political subject with even less convenient ideals. Her pro-democratic beliefs, strong persona, network of contacts including influential foreign figures were all suppressed by her public popularity. She was a force of nature on the scene. She was too cosmopolitan to be trusted and too strong to be broken.
Milada's name was high on the blacklist, yet she refused to leave her motherland. She stayed on in Czechoslovakia because she believed in her country, and she would pay the ultimate price for it.
3 years before her arrest, Milada was closely watched by the STB. The problem was that the surveillance efforts proved fruitless. The communists could not find any evidence to raise legal charges. Frustrated, the investigators decided to coerce witnesses into signing pre-written false confessions. At long last, Milada was arrested on trumped-up charges of espionage and treason. The public trial against Mrs. Horáková was one of the saddest moments in Czechoslovak history. It was orchestrated by Moscow advisors to publicly break Milada's spirit, make her renounce her values, and betray the people she stood for.
Drugs, the withholding of food, inhumane cell conditions, interrupted sleep, drowning, breathing, brainwashing, and solitary confinement did not make her speak. Milada refused to play the game. A conclusion was made by the party. She was a liability that had to be done away with.
No cruelty was spared as the effective propaganda machine was set into motion. Every day, teachers drilled the story of a loathsome Milada into the malleable heads of school children. In a perverse example of public entertainment, local party officials organized community get-togethers to listen to radio broadcasts of the trial.
All throughout the Republic, there was a convenient silence about Milada's fight against the Nazis, her survival through the concentration camps, and her return to her homeland with a political vision. Anything was said to get the public on the dark side.
Milada was convicted and sentenced to death. The execution was rushed as an international campaign was mobilized to admonish her and all that she stood for. The matter was getting out of hand. A petition of protest was signed by Albert Einstein, Winston Churchill and Eleanor Roosevelt, among other influencers, and delivered to Prague. But nothing would stop the men in grey.
Milada Horáková was hung on June 27, 1950, and became the only Czechoslovak woman and mother to be sentenced to death. Her death also sent a clear message to Czechoslovaks. The revenge of the party knows no mercy. These were dark times when truth and courage were hard to come by.
The punishment did not end after Milada's execution. Her only daughter, Jana, was denied access to education. She was denied studying medicine 5 times because she refused to publicly denounce her mother. Milada's daughter eventually fled Czechoslovakia and settled in the US. A letter that her mother wrote to her from prison, while awaiting the verdict, was given to her 40 years after her death.
Paní obžalovaná doktorko Horáková, slyšela jste obžalobu, porozuměla jste jejímu obsahu?
Ano.
Víte tedy, co se vám klade za vinu?
Ano.
Cítíte se vina těmi skutky, jež jsou v obžalobě uvedeny a které se vám kladou za vinu?
Cítím se vina činy, které jsem doznala a které podle trestních dnes platných zákonů zakládají jejich skutkovou podstatu.
O něch činů, jak v nich spatřuje státní prokuratura zločin velezrady a zločin vyzvědačství?
Ano. Některým ovšem vývodům státní obžaloby bych měla ještě své poznámky.
No, k tomu přijdeme.
Paní obžalovaná, Nemluvte v právnických formulacích. Řekněte nám, zda se cítíte vinou, že jste pracovala protistátně zločineckým způsobem proti lidově demokratické Československé republice.
Ano, tím se cítím vina.
Tak, to je jasná řeč.
Pani obžalovaná, vy ste povedala, že podľa dnes platných zákonov sa cítite vinnou.
Tážem sa vás, či velezrada a špionáž podľa predtým platných zákonov nebola trestná.
Byla.
Ďakujem, nepotrebujem viac.